Hey guys, and welcome back. Well, did you hear about the four Americans who authorities say were kidnapped in Mexico? Yes, they found two of them were found dead. Now, one of the two survivors was shot 3 times in the legs. Now, the group of friends traveled from South Carolina, so one of them, a mother of six, could undergo a medical procedure across the border. Now, this is according to two family members. Now, a friend said the group got lost on the way to the doctor's office. They were placed in a vehicle and taken from the scene by armed men in the border city of Matamoros on Friday. Now, this is according to what the FBI is saying. Investigators believe a Mexican cartel likely mistook them for Haitian drug smugglers. Now, one of their friends who called the police in Brownsville, Texas on Saturday for a police report. Now, her name was Cheryl Orange, to report that Latavia McGee, Eric Williams, Shaeed Woodard had not been heard from since driving in a rented minivan toward Matamoros, Mexico on Friday morning. Now, Orange said that McGee was planning to have a medical procedure. Orange told police she stayed behind in the United States because she did not have an ID with her. Now, the four had not been answering their cell phones, and it added that the Brownsville police checked a local jail to make sure that no one in the party had been taken into custody, but no other actions was taken. Now, McGee, Williams, and Woodard, along with a fourth American named Zendale Brown, were kidnapped in Mexico. Now, Woodward and Brown were found dead, and McGee and Williams are being treated in a hospital in Texas. Yeah. This is just awful. Now, they say kidnappings do not happen frequently despite public belief. They said the last major case of a big kidnapping of Americans was in the late 1980s. Now, the police department recommend that Americans remain in the U.S. But if people do decide to cross into Mexico, they encourage them to follow federal guidelines, which include having a full tank of gas to get the hell out of no, I'm sorry. Staying as close as possible to the port of entry, going with a group of people, and having a GPS. Now, they said there are hundreds of people that go through the bridge daily, referring to the crossing to Matamoros. And some people are more apprehensive after this kidnapping, but it's likely that some people will continue to cross. Now, the two Americans who survived the kidnapping are now being treated, as I said earlier, in a hospital in the U.S., in Texas. Now, one of the surviving victims sustained serious injuries during the attack. The Mexican government said earlier that Eric Williams was shot in the leg. Now, the other surviving victim was identified as Latavia Washington McGee. Now, two other Americans who were kidnapped were found dead, and they have been identified as Shaeed Woodward and Zendale Brown. And they're still doing an ongoing criminal investigation, and the FBI will continue to work with the state, HSI, DEA, and other federal and international partners to determine the facts of what happened and to hold those responsible accountable for their crimes. This is awful. And I hear of a lot of people now going to Mexico to have plastic surgery because they say that it's cheaper. And then, there have been a lot of deaths. They're going down there and doing these cheap surgeries and then coming home and dying. One girl was on her way home, had a adverse reaction and died. So, if I can't get it in the United States, I don't need it. My condolences goes out to the families, and I'm praying for the surviving victims. I'm praying for those passed away, their family members. They have my deepest condolences, and I hope you'll be praying for this family as well. But at here, I mean, Mexico is not a place that you can just go walking around and I mean, I've seen enough on TV, on the movies to know I don't even want to go to Mexico for vacation. I hear people go all the time to Cancun, and I be like, oh yeah, that's fine, but I don't want to go to Mexico for nothing. Okay, the only across the border I'm gonna do is Taco Bell. Okay. And you heard what the government is saying, that this little place, nobody don't need to go to, travelers and tourists, whatever. Um, I tell you, that is something.
All right, guys, that's it for me. Just press that comment button. I'd like to hear your comments about this. And thank you so very much for watching my video. I hope that you will like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And as always important, be blessed, y'all.